I first met Peter Alson and David Michaelis when they were teenagers taking swings at each other at the legendary Provincetown Tennis Club, where literary lions like Pulitzer Prize recipients Stanley Kunitz and Norman Mailer used to play. I'm 10 years older than they are, so I also knew and played tennis with Peter's mother, author Barbara Mailer, and stepfather, 60 Minutes producer and Academy Award winner Al Wasserman. And I knew David's mother, Diana Michaelis, who had a distinguished career at WGBH in Boston. Since I am a painter, back in those days, I never would have dreamed that I would be introducing them to the Miami Book Fair. Peter Alson grew up in Greenwich Village and was educated at UC Berkeley and Harvard. He's the author of 5 books of nonfiction, including the memoirs Confessions of an Ivy League Bookie, now reissued by Arbitrary Press under the title The Big, and Take Me to the River, a wayward and perilous journey to the World Series of Poker. His latest book is a novel called The Only Way to Play It. He's also an editor, the founder of Arbitrary Press, and a one-time professional poker player. David Michaelis grew up in Cambridge, Mass. And Washington, D.C. He was educated at Concord Academy and Princeton University and is the author of 6 books, including the national best-selling biographies of artist N.C. Wyeth and of Peanuts creator Charles Schulz. His most recent book is Eleanor, a biography of Eleanor Roosevelt. He lives in Westchester County, New York, with his family. So, David, if you want to kick things off, I will be quiet.
Hey, 2 books in one go, man. That is, I'm so proud of you. And the novel that we both talked about writing years ago, you've now finally written. And
it only took 48 years.
It only took 48 years. I'm proud of you. Perseverance is the art. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the book. It's got a hero that I loved. I love Nate Fisher. He's not you. He is a kind of he's an artist. He's a kind of a genius in a way, because he has figured out that this game, poker, which has incredible technicality, incredible ups and downs, luck, he's decided this is how he's going to support his family. And this is something that I'm fascinated by, because is there a connection between the luck that it takes in a long career as a writer or artist and the luck, obviously, that is part of poker? But as I've always heard you say, it's not about luck, it's about skill. And so I guess I'm wondering is why the choice both for the hero who's the artist and the technician poker player, and also why poker as a subject for art? Can you talk about those things?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that as every artist has to figure out, how they're going to support their art, especially when they're starting out. I know you did, I did. I mean, at the beginning of my writing career, I did all sorts of odd jobs. I was a proofreader. I repossessed cars at one point. I did all sorts of crazy stuff. And poker for me was an ideal way to support my writing, because it didn't interfere with it. I could do it at whatever times I wanted to. And I could, I didn't have to do it. I wasn't compelled to go into an office. So there was great flexibility in it. But the way that writing and playing poker are similar is that both are so focused on story. I mean, it's and in this novel, I make the protagonist, the hero, I make him a painter. I did that because to me it was too direct to I've written memoirs about being a poker player and a writer. And I wanted to do something else, and I wanted to take it outside of my own experience. But I think the parallels are still there, so that as a poker player, maybe the most important quality you can have is to be an observer. And I think that's true of being a painter or a writer too. But it's finally, it's all about storytelling. So that every hand, you are telling a story in poker, and you are also listening to the story that somebody else is telling. And you're comparing those stories and determining which of you is telling the truth and which of you is not. And you know, in that same way, being an artist is trying to determine what is true and what is not, and to get as close to the truth as you can.